Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. So in today's session we'll discuss about one more concept in operating system, that is disk structure. So in our previous session we have seen about file systems as well as system protection, and from today's session we'll see the concept of disk structure. So this disk structure mainly focus on how the data can be stored on the secondary storage and how can it be accessed. So it deals with how the data been stored and accessed from hard disk drive. HDD means hard disk drive. So we'll see one by one, right? The first one is a platter. So platter means, so the circular disc, okay, with magnetic tape or magnetic field are called platters. Okay, see, these are all platters. So number of platters can be there. So number of platters will be connected through spindle. So these platters were connected using this spindle, and more number of platters mean more storage capacity. So there will be a lot of platters will be there. So the number of platters increased, automatically the storage capacity will also be increased. That means much amount of data can be stored in the platters. So these are the platters. So in this example, so there are three platters. Okay, then all these three platters are connected with a spindle. Okay, spindle, and data is stored in the form of magnetic material or magnetic form. Okay, in the form of magnetic. So the data will be stored in these platters. Okay, more number of platters, automatically the more number of, the more data can be stored. This is the first point, platters. And the second one, and each platter, the second term is a tracks. So each platter will be having circular forms called as tracks. Okay, again these platters, so there will be a circular forms. These are all tracks. So each one is a platter, and in that platter again there will be a concentric circles, and these are called as a tracks. So there are thousands of tracks in each platter. So in each platter there will be thousands of tracks, but here each platter is nothing but a disc, okay, circular disc. So each platter will be having thousands of concentric circles. And see, for simple explanation I am taking only 3 circles, okay. And see, this is a spindle which connects all these platters, okay. Okay, this is a spindle. Okay, each disc is a platter. Inside the platter, the circular discs are called as a tracks. Thousands of tracks will be there for each platter, right? So I am taking only three tracks. Okay, so 1, 2, and 3, and all these tracks will be numbered from outer edge towards the center of a platter. So each track will be numbered from outer edge to center. So that means this will be the 1, this will be 2, this will be 3. So there are 3 tracks here, 3 tracks here. Okay. Right? 3 tracks are there. Now each track will be numbered so that the numbering will be given from outer edge. That means the outer track towards the center track. So that will be rotated. Okay, this is all about tracks. So every platter will be having a different number of tracks. So the data can be stored in these tracks also. And the third component of disk structure. So I'm explaining one by one and I'm drawing the diagram. And the next one is sectors. So each track is divided into small units called sectors. So again, see, each track is divided into, each track is divided into different small units. Okay, small units called sectors. Okay, so this portion, see, this portion is called sector. Okay, now let us take this portion is called a sector. So each track is again divided into a sector. Then, so the data can be stored in the sectors. So data will be stored, or data is read or write into these sectors one at a time. So at a time only one operation will be done here. Okay, so this spindle will be keep on rotating in a fast, okay, in a very fast. It spins the complete cylinders because all the cylinders are connected with the spindle. Okay, and see, each Okay, this is all about sectors. And the next key component of this disk structure is read write head. So what we are saying, the data will be stored in the sectors. Okay, data will be stored in the sectors, and the sectors are a part of each track. Okay, track is a part of a platter. Okay, and read write head. So this read write head, it will be pointing towards sectors to perform read write operation. In order to read write operation, that means we know that hard disk maintains some data, will store some data in the hard disk. So in order to access the data, or in order to store the data into the hard disk, this particular read write head will be used. So every platter will have their own read write head. And also, see, I'll show you. See, this is a normal arm. See, these are the read write heads. Read write head. So which will be pointing towards the data on sectors. So every platter will be having their own read write head. So this read write head will be moving forward and backward to perform read write operations. So in order to perform these read and write operations, these particular heads, okay, read write heads will be keep on moving forward and backward. So so the read write head can be moved towards the center of the platter, and it moves outer track of the platter, right? So if the data which we want to access is at the outer track, okay, it is in the sector which is available in the outer track, then it will be get in a very fast time. Okay, the accessing time is very fast. And if the data is available in the sector which is close to the center of the platter, then it may take some time, because the head should move towards the center and it have to access it. So read write head will be moving forward and backward to perform read write operations. Okay, these are the heads. So there will be two heads. Okay, two heads. So one is on top of platter. One is on top of platter. The second one is on another on bottom of platter. Bottom of platter, because so in the platter, I mean, the data can be stored on both the sides. That means top of the platter as well as the bottom of the platter. So that data will be stored on both sides. So there will be two heads. One is on top of the platter, another pointing at the bottom of the platter. So whenever you want to access the data, immediately the data, it will find the data and it will retrieve the data. So this is all about read write head. Next, the next one is a clusters. Clusters. Say group of sectors are known as clusters. So grouping, for example, you group all these things. If you group all these things, this becomes one cluster. Okay, so grouping means combining these three sectors forms one cluster. So why to form these clusters means, so clusters are used to store files in a file system. So if we want to store the file, so that file can be stored in a multiple clusters. I mean multiple sectors. By grouping them, we call them as a clusters. So these are the clusters. And the next one, cylinder. Cylinders. Now grouping up of tracks. So grouping of tracks radially of all platters is known as a cylinder. For example, let us take, so if you consider this one, see this one, and coming to here, this one, and coming to here, this one. So the grouping of tracks, what are the tracks? The circular forms on a platter, we call it as a tracks. So grouping of tracks, okay, grouping of tracks of all platters is known as a cylinder, right? So this is the disk structure. Once again I will repeat. First there will be a platters are the disk. These are disks which are having both sides, top and bottom. So these disks, I mean the data will be stored in these disks, and these platters will be stacked with the help of one spindle. This is called a spindle. Okay, spindle which will be rotated. Okay, this spindle will be keeps on rotating, okay, in a very fast way. So this particular platters will be stacked through this spindle and it will be rotated. Okay, and these platters will be again divided into tracks that are represented in a circular forms. So every platter will be having a circular form which we are calling it as a tracks, and the tracks are further divided into sectors. So you can see these are sectors. This is one sector, this is another, this is another, this is another, and this is another. So every tracks will be divided into sectors. So each platter will be having a thousands of tracks, and each track is further divided into sectors. So now the data will be stored in these sectors. So in order to store a file, a group of sectors will be called as a clusters, and in that cluster the file will be loaded, right? And there will be a read write head pointing towards the sectors on both the sides of platters, top and bottom. So in order to access the data from the sector, this particular read write head will be used. If you want to write the data onto the hard disk, or if you want to read the data from the hard disk, so these read write heads will be useful. Okay, so this read write head will be moving forward and backward in order to get the position of the data. So this particular read write head will be moved from outer track to excuse me, center track. If the required data is available at the outer track, then automatically the data can be accessed in a speed. Okay, very fast it will be accessed. And if the data which we want to retrieve it is near to the center track, then it may take some time to retrieve the data, because the read write head have to move forward towards the required data. Okay, so hope you understood. This is a disk structure, how the data can be read from the hard disk and how the data can be written into the hard disk, right? So hope you understood, and I'm very sorry for this diagram. So I have tried much, okay, try to understand, and so hope you understood all the key components and how the data can be retrieved, right? Yes, I'll stop here. And if you really enjoyed the session, like my session, share my session with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Thank you very much.